knockouts happen with the left hook. Of course, he's gonna say all I have is the left hook. And I think all I'm gonna need is one. Sleep, gone. He's like, dang, he did only have a left hook. Just wake up, give him a little kiss on his forehead. Put him to bed, like, good night, Jonathan. Dad, I've said to myself, you better push it. You better win.
It is non-stop every day in terms of aiding myself to be the best athlete I could be. As long as I reach my full potential and I give myself every best chance to be the best fighter I can be, physically best I can be with the attributes God's given me, the genetics I've been blessed with, I'll do the best I can to be the best fighter I can be on the planet.
That's good slipping. That's good slipping.
As the anticipation continues to build, Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn begin the road toward a massive showdown. Both fighters reveal their mindset, discuss the challenge ahead, and make it clear why neither plans on taking a step back when fight night arrives. Ryan Garcia credited his speed and power as natural gifts, expressing gratitude for them while noting he uses them responsibly. He added that his training is focused on sharpening those tools so they're ready when needed, especially when aiming for a knockout.
With my speed and my power, obviously God gifted. Thank the Lord all day long for my power and speed. So fast, use it for good. But then when I fight, I just knock somebody out. But sip helps strengthen it, got sharpened the tools.
On the other side, Conor Benn described himself as an emotional and intense fighter whose confidence is built on hard work rather than natural gifts. He emphasized that he takes pride in outworking opponents and aims to win in convincing fashion rather than simply doing enough to get the victory.
Whereas then you got me on the other hand, flip side, which is very emotional, very intense. Conor, this is my life. I'm based my pride and confidence on my level of hard work. Not because I'm God gifted, not because I'm explosive genetics, or not because I take all the pride and the self-belief from my hard work. I outwork everybody. With modern day gladiators, I don't respect nobody who goes in there and just wants to nick it on points. I want to win in a spectacular fashion or go out giving it everything I got.
Building on that, Conor Benn noted the fight carries added pressure due to pride and legacy. He said it gives the next generation a chance to settle the rivalry and restore the Benn name, adding that his training is about pushing himself to the limit.
Obviously, this fight is a different fight mentally for him because there's a lot on the line with pride.
The sort of fights they had, there was never that third fight. And it's a blessing that the Sons get to finish it off. Definitely fight for the family name, for sure. Putting the Benn name back where it belongs. When I train, I just push myself.
As discussions around the matchup continue, Gareth A. Davies described it as a high-profile clash between two modern-day stars, highlighting Conor Benn's strong box office presence. He noted that making 147 could be a challenge for Benn, while pointing to Ryan Garcia's punching power, particularly his left hook, as a major threat. He ultimately leaned toward Garcia, securing a knockout victory if Benn didn't connect first.
It's a great prize fight between two of the modern stars of the sport. Conor Benn's crossed over. he is a box office star through thin and thick, thinner, thick and thicker, controversy and the like. You know, he's got star character and star qualities. If he's going to make 147, if he's good at the weight, it'll be a good fight. If he has really struggled at the weight, he's going to struggle against Garcia, who is a massive puncher at welterweight with both left and right hooks, notably that left hook. It's a dangerous fight for him. I think it'll deliver all the way to the fight, but I'm afraid I think he'll get knocked out by Ryan Garcia, unless he knocks Garcia out himself.
Similarly, Spencer Olivier raised concerns that Conor Benn may have seen a decline in both punching power and durability at 147 pounds. He added that this is why he slightly leans in toward Ryan Garcia, pointing out that the 147-pound division is closer to Garcia's natural weight.
And I think for Conor Benn, it may just lost a bit of that punch power and maybe even a bit of punch resistance at 147. That's why I lean towards Ryan Garcia, whose natural weight is 147.
Yeah, big.
In contrast, coach Stephen Breadman Edwards leaned toward Ryan Garcia, describing him as the more naturally gifted fighter. He pointed out that Garcia can struggle when pressured early, while Benn's aggressive approach could drag him into close-range exchanges and break his rhythm.
I would kind of lean more towards Ryan because I think Ryan is the better just natural talent. But if it starts close to the fight, because Ryan is skillful, but he's not like the most physically imposing guy. You could push him around a little bit. And Benn's a little bit ultra aggressive and a little bit forceful with his body, and he's fought at 160 pounds, so he can like maul Ryan and brawl him and stuff, you know, and fight like a messy kind of fight and throw him off a little bit.
Agreeing with Stephen Breadman, Regis Prograis rated Ryan Garcia as the more technically polished boxer, pointing to his fast hands, dangerous left hook, and knockout ability as key assets. He also acknowledged Conor Benn's drive and aggression, noting that determined fighters can still make things very competitive. Prograis concluded that although Garcia holds the skill edge, Benn's ambition keeps the matchup highly intriguing.
I think Ryan does have better skill. Ryan is fast, big hook and stuff like that, but kind of has power, you know, and power can change everything, bro. You know, when you got power, one punch can change everything. So I think it'll be a very interesting fight. Like I said, I think that skill-wise, of course, I lean more towards Ryan. But Conor's hungry. You know, it's hard to beat somebody that's hungry, that wants to be a champion.
On the other hand, Ade Oladipo noted that Conor Benn has maintained steady training and may handle his weight cut more efficiently this time. He added that if Ryan Garcia shows up in top form, Benn will face a tough challenge, but is still expected to apply non-stop pressure and help produce a highly explosive fight.
It'll be interesting to see how Conor Benn physically looks. I just went onto Conor Benn's Instagram page. He's always training. So I guess he has to stay around a certain weight now so that weight cut isn't difficult. Because at 150, he still looked didn't look right for me at 150. It's been a long time though that his body's got down to that weight. So yeah, I think he will probably start from a lighter point just to make that final weight cut easier. But look, if it's the Ryan Garcia that turned up against Barrios, Conor's got an issue. But Conor Benn will fight. That's one thing. Like, try and remove, if you can, close your eyes. Try and remove whatever dislike you have for Conor Benn. Just think of the matchup here. And Conor Benn will try and take his head off. Will he be successful at taking his head off? I do not know. But we know, at least we know, he will try and fight to the death. And I'm not mad at it. I think it'll be an exciting fight for as long as it lasts. And then we'll see what happens.
Adding to the discussion, Eddie Hearn called the matchup an entertaining one, but doubted its potential to deliver huge commercial numbers in the United States. He pointed out that Ryan Garcia has stronger global star power, while Conor Benn's biggest fan base is based in the UK. Hearn also raised concerns about Benn operating at 147 pounds, suggesting he may be more effective at a higher weight and ultimately lean toward Garcia if the fight were to happen at welterweight.
You know, in terms of that fight, I think it's a good fight. You know, I don't think it's a big fight in America. I think it's a big fight in the UK. Obviously, Ryan's a big star in America. Conor's not. Ryan's a bigger star in the UK than Conor is in America, and Conor's a big star in the UK. So, yeah, I don't think it's a fight that's going to do massive numbers, but I like the fight. I think it's exciting. I think at 147, Ryan's a big fight. I don't think Conor should be fighting at 147. I think, you know, I like him up at 160 or up towards that weight class, but I don't see a way he beats Ryan Garcia at 147.
Meanwhile, Carl Froch described the fight as an appealing matchup, but warned that it may be a risky step up for Conor Benn at this stage of his career. He suggested Benn could be better served by taking on another proven world-level opponent first before moving into a high-risk clash with someone like Ryan Garcia.
I agree, it's a fight I'd want to see.
Yeah.
Conor Benn
I'd wanna
against
see the
Ryan
build-up.
Garcia, I want to see
Yeah.
it, but I just think it's a dangerous fight for Conor Benn, and I don't think he wants to be chucked in with a dangerous fight straight away. I think you need an interim fight at world level before you jump in with someone like Garcia.
However, George Groves considered the matchup more appealing and slightly more workable than some other top-tier options, while still acknowledging the risks it carried. He praised Conor Benn's aggressive, crowd-pleasing approach and the progress he's made through recent high-level competition. Groves also noted Benn's positive momentum, adding that a fight with Ryan Garcia would likely deliver an exciting and competitive contest.
It's a bigger fight than the Shakur fight.
Yeah, and more winnable.
And more winnable. So yeah, it's more dangerous in some ways, but it's more winnable in others. And I mean that's a fight that I would be really excited for, to be honest. I'd really, because I think Conor Benn, whether like he's limited or unproven in certain ways, he's got an exciting style, and he's good to watch. He's fun to watch, and he's coming off a massive high. And he's a much better fighter now than he was a year ago, just through having those two camps, fights, the whole process against Eubank, performing on the highest stage, coming back from a loss to avenge it in a great way. And maybe it might be flattering because Chris Eubank was so finished, but yeah, I think the Garcia fight, I think it's a great fight, really.
On the other hand, Ryan Garcia recently showed openness to a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson at 140 pounds, adding further buzz to talks of a high-profile showdown between the two.
He believes that I can make 140 comfortably. You know, I trust, the people, my team around me. If their opportunity presents itself, I would love to fight Shakur Stevenson.
Furthermore, Ryan Garcia views a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson as a technical showdown, acknowledging Stevenson's defensive ability, but questioning how it would hold up against his own speed and timing. He also suggested that Stevenson hasn't faced an opponent with his level of explosiveness, adding that consistent pressure could throw off his rhythm.
I beat in a silk fight already, Devin Haney, which is longer, stronger, and faster than Shakur. So Shakur's better defensively, but he's never faced a guy as fast and with timing like myself.
Would you say that's probably the hardest fight for you right now?
No, it wouldn't be a hard fight. It would just be a thinking fight. And the thing is, you could think all you want. When punches are coming at you too quick, your brain can't react. I don't give a fuck what you got going on. Your brain, you just get hit, get rocked.
On the flip side, Shakur Stevenson is also ready to take on Ryan Garcia, calling it a major matchup that would attract significant fan attention. He added that the bout would have huge commercial value and could stand as one of the biggest money fights in the division.
It'll be a lot of excitement to that fight. It's a big money fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that comes in there, you never know which version of him is going to show up.
Building on that matchup, David Benavidez described a potential Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson clash as a competitive, high-profile fight that would draw significant fan attention. He recognized Stevenson's talent and growing reputation, but emphasized that legacy is built by taking on risky, high-stakes challenges. Benavidez also encouraged Stevenson not to let the opportunity slip away while available.
It's not an easy fight. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. Like, I can't, I'm not gonna say Ryan Garcia go knock Shakur out, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Shakur's gonna go knock Ryan Garcia out. It's a 50-50 fight, and that's what we want to see. So, but like I said, that's just my opinion. If he feels like he's not ready to go up to 147, everybody has their opinion. Just like me, I'm not ready to go up to 200 pounds. You know what I mean? So I was just saying, that's just my opinion.
David further suggested that avoiding the matchup could result in missing a crucial opportunity in Shakur Stevenson's prime years. He added that elite champions are judged by the challenges they embrace rather than those they decline, noting that top fighters adjust regardless of size differences. He ultimately urged Stevenson to take the fight while it remained available.
He's able to have this position, and him not taking that is going to hurt him, because at the end of the day, he's in the prime of his career. How old is he? Like 28?
Yeah, he's
29.
getting, yeah.
So he's becoming in the prime of his career. So for me, in my opinion, I think these are the best times where you should take these fights, you know, make the biggest fights happen while you're in the prime of your career. I mean, and I'm not saying he's not going to be in the prime of his career when he's 30, 32, but this is really when it becomes. I mean, he can really get the best out of himself right now. So, but like I said, that's just my opinion. If he feels like he's not ready to go up to 147, you know, everybody has their opinion. Just like me, I'm not ready to go up to 200 pounds.
Meanwhile, Sean Zittel noted that Ryan Garcia can have difficulty finding his rhythm when his confidence drops, especially after getting hit cleanly. He pointed to Shakur Stevenson's precision and control of the ring as key advantages over a full 12 rounds, while also acknowledging Stevenson's relatively low knockout power. Even so, he still views the matchup as competitive due to Garcia's natural explosiveness.
He's feeling it and he's confident. You know, it's a different animal in there, and they both tamed him in the second round with their knockdowns. And so maybe Shakur over 12 rounds will do, because he's so pinpoint. Look, Devin and Shakur, I'm not saying they can't punch. Devin showed against Brian Norman he can punch. Shakur is one of those guys so sharp, so pinpoint, like Floyd was once he got in higher weight classes. Okay, he may not stop you necessarily, but he's got enough to keep you respectful and not. But that being said, since they don't quite crack like Gervonta and Rolly, I think that's an interesting element of Ryan against both of them. Ryan's a little bit bigger than Shakur. He's very fast. He punches hard. And then we already saw the first time with Devin, you know, it's every time they fought in the amateurs, it was a tough fight, both ways. So he's you know, he's the underdog against Shakur, but I think he's a more competitive matchup than Teofimo turned out to be. Styles make fights. And then Devin, I think a lot of people look at the rematch as a 50-50 fight.
However, Sergio Mora drew a contrast between Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson, noting Garcia's more limited footwork while praising Stevenson's superior speed and evasiveness. He highlighted Stevenson's experience and defensive mastery as major strength, describing him as a sharp, confident fighter carrying strong momentum.
Ryan Garcia is flat-footed. Shakur Stevenson is a cheetah in and out, man. I mean, he's been so successful from the Olympics to moving up in weight divisions. Power's not going to be enough for him. And if you're not going to be a volume puncher, like Ryan Garcia clearly is not a volume puncher, then how are you going to beat Shakur Stevenson? How are you going to be able to compete with that in-and-out southpaw style where he doesn't engage with you? The timing, the confidence, the momentum. Shakur is cut from the cloth of Floyd Mayweather Jr., Andre Ward, and these greats that don't get touched, they don't get hit. The defensive geniuses, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, these are big names, but Shakur's cut from that cloth, man. He's special.
Furthermore, Bruce Carrington raised doubts about whether even a peak version of Ryan Garcia could match up with Shakur Stevenson, pointing to Stevenson's elite defensive skills as the defining factor. He also noted that the matchup is still difficult to call, given that both fighters bring high-level ability in different areas.
Is any version of Ryan Garcia, even the best version, competitive with Shakur Stevenson?
Competitive with Shakur. I don't know. Shakur has really good defense, man. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of sets him apart from a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's that call I can't really make. You know what I'm saying? I think they're both like great in their own rights.
Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia's sparring partner pointed to Shakur Stevenson as a serious threat, explaining that his punches have genuine effect and his defense relies on timing and control rather than simply evading shot. He added that Stevenson's accuracy forces opponents to remain careful and respect every exchange inside the ring.
You know, so Shakur does have power. It hurt. I could feel his punches. It hurt a little bit. It was something to be cautious against. You know, so Shakur does not have pillow hands. He's defensive because he's defensive. He doesn't like to get hit. Who likes to get hit, you know?
And that wraps up today's breakdown. We're seeing a lot of big names being linked, a lot of opinions flying around, and some seriously interesting potential matchups that could shake up the sport. But now it's your turn. Who do you think comes out on top in these fights, and why? Drop your breakdown in the comments below. I read through as many as I can. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss any new fight talk, updates, and breakdowns. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps the content coming. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.